Hello!
Behold!
Welcome to a special Ego review, because we don't know when this is going up. Hopefully, if all goes to plan, this will be going up, brace yourselves, on the day that the Consuming Shadow is available to buy from digital stores. I'll be putting links to all the stores you can buy it from in the description.
There'll be plenty of links. I like this as an opening option. See,
This is something a lot of people have latched on to, that one of the options you can do on the opening screen is to murder yourself.
What happens? Should we show them that, or...?
This happens, but if I press the button, I can fight off my suicidal instincts. No, we must fight on. Save the world from the shadow, the consuming
Suicide
shadow.
is painless, but in this case it brings on many changes.
Yes. It wouldn't be that painless. He's not putting it in his mouth. That's how you ensure. I mean, this is probably survivable what he's doing.
Where's it go?
Might just blow his face off like Arseface from Preacher.
Oh. It's kind of getting toward... Like, it's kind of pointing a bit back there.
Well, recoil can dislodge it a bit.
Okay.
Anyway, enough admiration of suicide.
Enough of the willy-nilly of shooting oneself in the neck.
Let's take a brief look at the files.
We have nothing.
No.
Lots of mysteries to solve.
Yeah. Those will fill out as we encounter monsters. But we haven't encountered any in this save because there's nothing on it.
Except the spectre of suicide.
So, The Consuming Shadow is a Lovecraftian procedurally generated game. In which we travel throughout the land and find tainted and untainted towns in which to seek clues.
Red means tainted, green means untainted.
Yes, it's like traffic lights.
Yeah.
Go here, you lovely person. Stop, don't come here, unless you're a paranormal detective.
Yep, with a gun and a mission.
Our ultimate goal is to prevent the evil ancient god from entering our world.
Yeah. They're not great. Oh, get the rosary.
You like the rosary?
Yes.
Well, I got the cash for it.
There's a pro tip for all you players out there: get that rosary first, because that helps reduce sanity loss. And holy jeez,
Always check the items in the safe town shops, because those are handy.
Yeah.
So the method that we need to employ to stop the Ancient from invading the world in approximately 60 hours, which was 72 hours in the alpha, but I thought I'd make it a bit tenser.
And that's an important thing to emphasize to people, is everything in this takes time. Driving takes time. Searching for supplies in safe towns eats an hour. So time management's a very big and sort of major part of this game. You can't just sort of dally about.
Yes. So there's multiple evil ancients that we know of. Only one is the one that's invading the world. We have to go to evil dungeons to find information on the banishment ritual.
Yep.
Which is 4 runes that we must incant at Stonehenge to prevent the invasion of the Ancient. One of the runes will be the rune
Of the god.
representing the god invading, and we also have to figure out which god that is.
Yes, because if you cast the wrong one, oh dearie me.
Yes. Presumably it will be bad. So here we are at a tainted town. And these descriptions are somewhat randomly generated. There's a couple of different passages that comes into them.
And so we investigate a few times, and we get one of... How many? There's a fair few now. Different kinds of, for lack of a better word, dungeons, but they're not all dungeons, as you'd sort of...
Well, we do call them dungeons.
Well, yeah, but this is, it's a park, but it functions as the game's...
Faux
Yep.
pas.
Pistol whipping is a useful... Get used to learning how to pistol whip, because you don't want to just go peeing your ammo away. That stuff's important.
You can do it while moving.
Yeah.
That's new since the alpha. I had to divide the sprite into 2. That's why his lower body doesn't move at all when he's doing that.
He's just got good grounding. He must do Tai Chi.
He's stiffened his hips
Yep.
in his resolution against the evil.
He's girded his loins. There's another area we could explore. So yeah, you got Pokebot.
So these dungeons...
Ooh, and that noise means there's something you can search for, and you want to search for things.
Yeah.
Because it's survivally, isn't it? This isn't like a haha, we...
Well, yes. It's one of my inspirations was FDL. You have to manage your resources. There's this big evil thing weighing down on you. Oh, we just found one of the diary pages.
That gets added to the little... should we examine the dude?
I suppose we should. I'm so used to this game now. I'll just look past straight. Oh, a corpse. Oh, how mundane.
Just another day. But the corpses, I think, don't they sort of give you... Oh,
Hey!
a buffer.
Piss off, you. Ow, ow. Yeah, and you.
Yeah, so the birthers are kind of dicks because they've been infected and filled with little beasties. So when you kill them, they hatch.
Yes, that's one of the early boss monsters. They become a regular enemy the more you go through the game.
And then you also start to see more advanced forms.
Yes, and the dungeons get bigger.
Yeah, quite bigger.
So this was the first easiest dungeon of the game.
A kz symbol.
Okay, so now we know...
Ooh, good-o.
Now we know the third rune of the banishment ritual is kz. And this is the spellcasting screen. This is what we would use to cast spells if we had any.
Yeah, and that's another thing, you pick up spells along the way that you can cast in-game, not just for the thing at the end, and that gives you sort of little advantages here, some buffs, some do damage. Oh! Hit him.
I'm hitting him.
Splat.
That was a buzzer. He buzzes. I think he's only introduced to the monster pool after you beat the first dungeon. So, he's a new friend. Oh, speaking of spells... Hey!
This is a good spell.
These are occasional random drops you find in dustbins. Or whatever is the...
Shmkuz.
Yes, let's demonstrate dark vision. Oh, that's... Sorry, I'll just cancel out of that. That could
almost,
have been...
Yeah, you almost cast the diarrhea spell.
That could have been embarrassing. Whoops. So what's happening here is that casting a spell has cost us a bit of sanity.
Which has triggered the anxiety status effect.
Yeah, when you lose sanity, there's a chance of getting anxiety. And when you're anxious, your hand wobbles, which makes your aim slightly worse.
Which can be a real problem with buzzers. And especially the little ones, like...
I think if I can pick this door open. I've got 25% now and one pick left.
Oh. Okay, so we have to find the key.
Well, this dungeon may or may not have a key. Oops, I missed.
Oh, so dungeon... Oh, see, there we go. Now we got a spitter.
Yeah. Oh, bang.
Hit him.
I'm gonna hit you.
So, I never encountered a dungeon where there wasn't a key.
Well, that's... I don't know
this is important.
Yes. We've just found a clue about one of the gods. This is not telling us that Biala is the invading god. There are 3 gods we'll find information about. One of the major clues that you find from beating dungeons is which gods are not invading.
Yeah, that's important.
And you'll find out, like, you know, they'll say things like the Biala is not in the invading god, or the purple god is not the invading god.
Or Biala hates the invading god. So the way the gods relate to each other, I found, was probably the best way for me to work out who was doing what.
Yeah, one of the gods is invading, one of them is the ally of the invader. One of them...
There's a coffer.
It's a spitter again. You can, if
it's Hock and Goobies.
If you
you can hit the spit. I forgot about that.
Yeah, if you can time it well enough. You need to get in close because the spitter tries to attack from mid-range, so he'll back off if you go for melee.
See, and this is where the night vision comes in handy, because when you can't see the buzzers from a distance, they just tear into your sort of space, and usually by that stage it's a bit late to hit them.
Sometimes ambush you from behind as well. Well, I ran out of ammo. I considered buying more ammo at the shop, but that rosary was too tempting.
I think the rosary to me is always a good choice. Like, you can melee your way through a lot of stuff if you get good at the melee. Getting sanity back is hard.
Yeah, it's almost like a conscious part of the design that sanity is almost a permanent loss. You can restore it by taking illegal drugs.
Just like in real life.
That's these things up here, because they numb you to the horror of reality. But that effect ticks down over time.
And it's not a permanent up.
Yeah, and each time you take drugs, you get less of an effect, just like real life.
And,
So night has now fallen, which means our visibility is going to be compromised in dungeons. I don't want to go to a dungeon straight away yet. I want to find a nice town.
Is this a nice town? We haven't explored it
yet. No, because you can see there's fog.
Oh, so fog always indicates...
Yeah.
Oh, I never picked up on that.
Fog and green sky is bad town.
Oh, okay.
But we've got a text message earlier telling us about a job that needs doing in Falmouth. And we only get jobs for safe towns. So I'm going to go there. Oh, hang on. Okay, it's a monster sighted job. I think we can handle that.
Well, it's important to do the jobs because that gives you the cash that lets you buy the upgrades that
Yes.
They really do make the game sort of...
Oops. Random event. Oh, that's handy. This is one of the missions where you can guarantee a good result if you're carrying the right item of equipment, and by chance, the only equipment we have is the rosary.
Rosaries.
So rather than having to choose whether we have to tell him the frightening truth or a comforting lie, we can just...
Aren't the frightening truth and comforting lie, like, there's no guarantee on either of those, is there?
No, both of them have the effect of a good effect or a bad effect. I think the odds of good or bad varies. This is another thing that I was borrowed from FTL, which, as I said, was one of my main inspirations. Because I remember when I first played FTL, I remember thinking this whole concept will work really well with a Lovecraftian theme, you know?
Yeah, the slow... It's kind of like, like FTL and probably like the Battlestar Galactica board game, where there's no good options. There's just, incrementally less bad ones.
Yeah, and as you go through FTL, you're being chased by this huge nebulous mass, which is just referred to as the Rebel Fleet.
The bad thing.
Yeah, and in this case, I took inspiration from that with the 60-hour time limit that's constantly counting down in front of your eyes. As a constant reminder.
And you'll think that 60 hours is a long time when you first start playing.
Yeah.
Like you'll see that and you'll go, I've got ages. And you don't realize, like, it particularly getting the identity of the gods takes time.
Yeah. I've been known to finish the game with, like, about 20 hours left, but then I did make it. I'll go switch to a new...
Hollow points! Eat it! Okay. Hitting me. Yeah.
That'll teach him. Hollow points are...
The high damage.
Yeah, basically just more damage. I think they do triple damage of regular bullets.
Because there's regulars, hollow points, and the armor piercers.
Yes, armor piercings do the double the damage of regular bullets and also penetrate enemies. So it would have been useful in that situation. Okay, we got 30...
I visit the hospital to recharge you.
Yes. We'll refill our med kit and spend our remaining cash...
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
But I kind of need the ammo.
No. See, personally, if I was running this, I'd go body armor and then melee a lot.
I like to have bullets, me. I'm a bullety kind of guy. Actually, well, I think I'll get the body armor. Put that in my second equip slot, because we can only have 3 equipped items at a time.
I love that you're a guy running around now with like just a gun, a rosaries, and some body armor.
Yeah, it's very...
That says supernatural investigator to me.
Yeah, that's very alone in the dark, isn't it? We'll just pick up some armor-piercing bullets. The costs vary.
But this is why you want to do the jobs.
Yeah.
So you can just sort of wander around aimlessly and explore.
Tits. Leave us alone, kids. I'm trying to save the world. So, yeah, that's the risk when you get text messages. Sometimes...
It's money insanity?
Sometimes it's people just donating you money to the cause. Sometimes it's messages that will decrease your sanity. Like that.
Yeah.
That's the risk, I suppose.
And the less sane you get, the more prone you become to anxiety effects, and you start to get, like, scratching on the screen, and...
Yeah, there's quite a few different insanity effects. We'll see if any of them come up.
Shall we ask what your inspiration for the insanity effects was?
Well, one of my inspirations was the board game Arkham Horror, where every player has a sanity score.
That's a fun game.
Yeah, as that's another game where you have to like gather clues.
Yeah.
Which in my case, I wanted the clues to like in that game you just like trade clues for
like clues are
progress
tokens.
In this case, I wanted the clues to mean something. So the
That's
clues, like the clues, are part of this ongoing logic puzzle that goes through the game, where you have to deduce which is the invading god.
Yeah, there's no. You don't just. Yeah, clues aren't just objects you collect until you get 7, and then it goes, okay, you can now defeat the god. You can go in on a guess. If you think you've got an educated guess of what the god is, but maybe don't have it 100% certain, you can go in on that. Hell, you can just roll the dice.
Yeah, if time's wanted.
Yeah.
Or you don't think you could survive another dungeon. I have to listen carefully because the sound's a bit low, and the sound is how we know that ambush...
A wall rune.
Yes. Someone's inscribed the Petit rune. That means Petit is the rune of one of the 3 gods, and it also means that the white god hates this god, for whatever reason.
And that's all... Should you cast the rune?
Yes, you can cast the rune, you see.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get a little bit of sanity from that. Not
It's like
really,
1 or 2. Yeah.
not really much. The only like reason that's there is to sort of communicate to the player that if you see a rune, it might be a good idea to cast it back. Oh, here's another wall rune. Someone is Au, and they're friends with Mr. White. Which means that Mr. White has a friend. The god who is the enemy of the invading god and the invading god's ally has no allies, obviously. So that means the white god has to be either the invader or the invader's ally.
So it's not.
Yeah.
Whatever her name is. Bitchface.
What?
Betty, or whoever we already... Who was the purple?
Aha, found the keys.
Hey!
This'll help.
Yeah, so you said earlier, like, I didn't realize you could get into a dungeon where you couldn't get the keys for it.
Yes, in some dungeons, if the objective rooms are not locked, then there's a chance that a key won't spawn. That's why it's important to have lockpicks as well.
There are also a few little items and objects you can get that make lockpicking easier.
Yeah, this is a hostage, and he's alive.
Is he a...
Well, we'll know when we approach.
hostage? Hey!
Sometimes the hostages have been turned. So when you approach, they will draw a gun. But in this case, we got lucky. So that was at the missing person type of dungeon.
Hooray.
That's now completed.
I've often found it useful to still explore after I've completed the dungeon objective.
It's good to find all the like pickups that might still be lying around.
Yeah, especially if you've gotten the four-leaf clover, which buffs your luck.
Oh, I found another item.
Sweet.
I got the shoulder stock, which improves my fire rate, which is represented by the yellow symbol of the gun there. You'll notice when we fire, it fills up again.
That's actually really good buff.
To demonstrate when we will be able to fire a second time.
Oh,
bollocks! So that's the risk you run at night when visibility is poor.
Yeah. Listen for things.
Yeah.
Hey, hollow points.
Okay.
Oh, I got a door on the
Got
right.
a door on the right. Hopefully that means there'll be something to pick up in here. Yes.
Hey.
I haven't found many clues yet. The ratio of clues versus equipment you find in like the storage containers in dungeons varies based on like the
How close we are to the end? Or?
the aesthetic of the dungeon.
Oh, okay.
Now we're in the house, which has like a mix of documents and equipment. If we were in the office building, it would be all documents.
And then there's...
If we're in the warehouse, it's all equipment.
Hmm.
And it sort of, goes on a sliding scale.
So that's good, because then you can make choices about how much you want to explore. Like, if you've got, lots of clues already, and you're in a warehouse, you may want to explore more, because then you can get equipment. But if it's the other way around, you might go, screw it, and just leave.
Yes, indeed. Perhaps I should clarify that Gabriel has been testing this game for me.
For a long time now. When did you first start working on this?
Oh, I've been working on this for years, man.
Yeah, because you were at the old house when you first showed me, back when it was something to do with a guy who was hydrophobic.
Oh, yeah. That was like an old adventure game idea I was working on. And I used like a similar engine for this. Where it was just like a 2D, like the dungeons in this game. Just walking from room to room. And that turned into this. I wanted to see if I could... The first thing I made was the random dungeon system. I wanted to see if it could be done. Because I was interested in procedural generation at that time. Less so in adventure games and stuff. And then I just made all this other stuff around it, I guess. From that starting point. So yeah, I've been working on for a few years. If I'm honest, there have been long periods of procrastination. Because I do have to make a living. But it's finally... we finally got a release build, which is hopefully this.
Hooray!
And I've been working with my good friend Ramin, who have very kindly volunteered to act as producer, and he gave me a kick up the arse where it was needed. Well, we don't have the money for treatment.
Oh well.
We don't really need any anyway.
So I'd say that's probably your biggest failing as a creator, is you get a bee in your bonnet about something, you work on it really hard, and then you get another bee, and you just tear off onto that next thing, and I think you got a habit of kind of neglecting...
Did you see a mysterious figure standing in the road momentarily there while we were driving?
I thought so. That's not a good sign.
Perhaps I imagined it. Ooh. Yes, so
Organized rats!
we've gone through quite a few iterations.
Yeah.
You may, if you played the alpha, you may recall you had to pick up jobs from towns. Now jobs just occur randomly while you're driving, and you get text messages about them.
I like that a lot better.
Because it like sort of trains the player about them better, I find. And yeah, you may have noticed I'm using the controller for this. There's controller support now,
That's
as well as mouse
much
keyboard.
more convenient
The
for me.
original alpha was designed to be just used with mouse because I had a fancy for turning it into a tablet game. But that's on that idea is on.
Whoa, whoa.
Jesus Christ! There's a lot of them.
That's not a good... Oh, there's a fucking...
Yep, that means there's a nest here. Die, 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 die. Oh,
Shit.
bugger. Well, this is useful. We're demonstrating a lot of features in this video.
Yeah, that's...
I now have a status effect. I have a broken leg.
No running.
Oh, okay. Yep, we just found that the last rune of the banishment ritual is the god's rune. So we'll need to pick up some more clues. Find out what their rune is.
Did you have the first rune, the first thing as well? Check the spells thing again?
Yeah, we got all but one there.
Oh, wow.
And we still need a lot of more clues.
Yeah, we do not have a lot of information about precisely who's invading.
It's okay, 45 minutes left. Plenty of time. Still in the north of England.
So is that the sort of time? Because I know it's 45 hours in quotes in the game.
Yeah, well, it's real time in these dungeons, as you can tell by the rate the seconds are passing at.
When you travel.
But when you're traveling, it goes much faster. It's like a minute per game cycle.
Oh, okay. Ooh,
And now
that's
we...
Biala.
Yes. So Biala is either allied with the Bati rune guy, or
Is
Bati is their rune.
Okay. That's
Oh,
anything in
there it
here?
is
No,
again.
just-
Man, if Bati isn't their rune, they're a really big fan of their friend.
I love you.
I could put your posters all over my dungeons.
Oh,
Oh, it's one of these. It's a floater.
I don't like floaters
They
for
split,
that reason.
They split in two.
Yeah, and they hit you in the dick.
Harass you, man.
Alright, this sucks.
Well, it wouldn't be consuming shadow if we weren't dragging around 500 status elements.
That's because you feel so safe, and then the status elements start.
Not sure if I've explained it, but the broken leg means that if we run, we will lose sanity as we do so. Because, it's so fucking painful.
More petite. Oh,
Oh, Jesus. That was me not paying attention.
Oh,
Phew,
good snipe.
I was lucky.
Alright, what's in here? Hopefully not more goddamn things.
So yeah, FDL, Arkham Horror were influences. Another influence was, let's see who remembers this, D-Animator. Did you ever play that?
Yeah, that actually, because that rung a bell, but I couldn't remember it, and then you loaded it up, and I was like, oh yeah.
Yes, it was a Flash game from way back in the early days of Flash games.
The Newgrounds, wasn't it?
Possibly.
I just automatically assume every old Flash game I played was on Newgrounds at some point, which I don't think is a bad assumption to make.
That was a game sort of based on Reanimator, the Lovecraft story, where you were a black silhouette of a guy with a gun shooting advancing monsters. And it was just sort of a permanent arcade thingy.
Yeah, you stood in one corner and you clicked on the beasties.
But that was one of my influences when I decided to go for the silhouette style, besides the fact that I'm shit at art. Ha 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 ha. Let's float a city today.
Fucking hemisphere brains. Die.
Yes, they did. Thanks for contributing.
Oh, did I hear something?
Okay. So,
Cuz is about as well.
purple hates cuz.
Didn't White hate Cuz as well?
White hated something.
Oh, and you can't leave a room with a monster in it.
Yeah. You have to listen out for them if you're about to leave. Because they can spawn behind you
Yes.
as an ambush.
And they...
If you leave a room before they're dead, you lose sanity.
Yeah, what's the sanity drop on it? It's like 5 or something? It's fairly hefty.
It's fairly random. It's like...
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
The only times it's ever happened to me has just been like, ow.
Okay. So we've sorted that town out. We are the
Great
hero.
personal cost.
We are the hero England deserves.
Are we able to enter the town and maybe go to a hospital?
Nah, because a tainted town, once fixed, doesn't immediately make it nice again.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, because, they got shit to rebuild.
Hospitals are destroyed and full of monsters.
We have to find a safe town that was always safe. We need to find a hospital to fix our broken leg.
Yeah.
Because that can be fixed instantly, can't it?
Oh, hey, your anxiety went away.
Yeah, that's a fairly short status effect. Usually arises in dungeons and goes away after a short drive.
Alright,
Don't you
well,
find? Nice,
something's-
relaxing drive in the country.
In the haunted country with the Greeblies.
Well, something's in the shit.
Everywhere's in this shit.
Oh, a text from a cultist on the side of the evil one. Just revealed to us that Castlegate is a nice town. Thanks for letting us know.
That's all I go, thanks, champ.
Where's Castlegate? Oh, well, we're near enough to Hersham now that we were able
Fuck
to see that it's green.
Hooray. Because, yeah, you don't want to...
The day-night cycle is something that's been added since the alpha as well.
I'd say drive on.
Yeah, this can end poorly. You can let him in and take him to a town for a reward, but sometimes, he
He goes batshit.
he becomes nasty. Right, well, luckily I think we've got enough to fix the leg.
Thank God. Because, yeah, like, you will run, at some point, and you'll forget.
It's gonna, well, we can't afford the stab-proof vest, which would be nice, because that prevents the bleeding wound status effect, which just makes your health tick down
Which sucks.
while you're driving. Which is a very horrible status effect to have if you're a long way from a safe town
Yeah.
with no more health kit.
It really, it's just brutal.
Right,
We
well,
need a job.
I'm
We have to
gonna
go to Bum Hope. Oh, that's dead.
let me check my ammo. I'll risk another dungeon.
Well, it's just Bur Hope's Scenarios job, but it's an hour until it... It's either an hour away or it's an hour till it falls.
Oh yeah, that's an hour till the town becomes evil because we didn't solve their problem.
Whoopsie doodle.
Oh well.
Poor Bur
I mean,
Hope.
we'll never get there in an hour now.
No. And this is, time management again comes into this. You can't just look at a place the other side of England and go, I'll get there in a minute.
Well, what did they want? Yeah, I know. Thanks, Ministry.
God forbid you send anybody else out to help out on this.
Sometimes a town turning evil can be good because
Oh, really?
it provides another opportunity for a dungeon to find clues.
Oh, okay.
Right, this is our next spare job. No, bollocks to
Fucking
that.
hell.
I'm not going back to the Scottish border at this time of night.
Let Scotland deal with it. They want their independence. Now's the time to show it.
Now, the person sending us the text at the ministry signs off his text as T, and it's heavily implied.
That it's Tony Danza.
Yes,
Excellent.
it's Tony Danza. Now, it's heavily implied that it's Trilby from the Chisomythos, who's now in a position of authority at the ministry. But I hate to make something that's completely alienates entirely new viewers. So, knowing the continuity of the Chisomythos, doesn't come into this at all. He's just a government agent.
It's an Easter egg. A pleasant
Sort of.
surprise if you find it, but not an integral part of it.
Yeah, if you're familiar with the background, then it's fun to think about. Well, the thing I like to emphasize
Think about it now.
about this game is that it has a central theme of cosmic horror and multiple timelines. So, in my personal canon, every playthrough of this game is canon. It's just a different universe,
Like the Marvel Multiverse.
Exactly.
Because, death, I think...
Yeah, the objective was fucking with us for a second there. That's one of the many sanity effects.
Death is a part of this game. I think it's kind of naive to expect to beat this on your first playthrough.
Well, yes.
Because you get treaties after you die.
Yes, you get... this was in the alpha, you get experience points that you can put... Oops.
Ooh!
A cultist!
Say jiggle. What?
Ow!
What are you...
I was demonstrating.
Oh.
He fires death spells, which you can get yourself. But if you cast his runes back at him, it
Whip
destroys,
it!
destroys his shield and you can Palpatine his ass.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan his ass, rather. bloody cultists
Yeah, those guys
taking over our warehouses.
stealing our jobs.
The warehouse is one of the dungeon backgrounds that's been added since the alpha. I think the cultist has been added since the
The
alpha
cultist
as
was
well.
quite recent. Ooh,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
9mm ammo was full there.
that's a shame.
So yes, in this... Oh,
Ooh,
hey!
dick.
Cheeky!
Splat.
Cheeky. And he spits on people. What a delinquent.
I don't like those.
Let's leave that undiscussed. You can draw your own conclusions about that. I'm embarrassed. I've looked at the text of this game so often I don't even register it anymore.
You're just blipping like right through it. You're doing that thing where you skip the fluff
Yeah, I
text.
forgot what the dungeon objective was. But we're finding an occult text. Oh,
Oh, sweet.
nice.
That was a good find.
So yeah, we're in a warehouse, so there'll be no clues to be found here. We're having a very clue-deficient run right now.
We do have two at least of the thingamajigs, though. Like, we haven't got a lot on who the villain is, but having two of the runes, I think, is fairly solid for 36 hours.
Well, we got 3 in that we know that the last rune is the God's rune. Yes.
Alright. Oh, there was the rune in red.
Yes, a red rune.
Over there. Whip it.
Oh, hey.
Oh, it's a coffer.
That's a coffer.
Yeah, those
have been proven slightly rarer than spitters. Hey, more equipment. Pentagram necklace reduces sanity loss from spellcasting. If we combine that with the rosary, we'd have a pretty solid spellcasting build there, I'd say.
And if you have a lot of like spells, can really like dominate if you got a good few of them.
Spells can really make the difference. Some of them can, anyway. It's like some are more effective and cost more sanity than others.
Yeah.
Dark Vision is a good one. There's another spell that's very, very handy, especially for the later dungeons, called Clairvoyance, which
Which
reveals the entire map, as well as where all the objectives are.
Spank. Gotcha, you bitch.
Ha 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 ha. Is the cultist dying, or is he being teleported away at the last minute?
That's something for the fans to decide.
Well, there never seems to be any less of the buggers.
Ew, boils.
I think,
Gross.
yeah, the descriptions of the bodies can give you a clue as to the aspect of the god
Good point.
who's like in control of this dungeon. So we saw a red rune, so presumably this is the red god, and I think the boils means he's the god of disease.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the full banishment ritual. It's unusual we haven't got any of the
God clues yet.
X-god is not the invading god clues yet.
Yeah, because you get a lot of those, and they pile up, so that's why the table's really good, because you have to sort of organize. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Run away.
Yes.
I haven't seen that one. Ooh, shit nipples. Get it.
Okay.
Suck it.
The-
Oh, Fid. What one's that?
This is the ghost. He's like, in this sort of dungeon, and in a couple of others, when you complete the objective, a hunter monster is spawned who pursues you to the exit, and will never go away.
The one that gives me the most willies is Big Scary Face.
Oh, yes.
I don't like that just because it's just odd. Like, I don't...
Yeah, it's... I'm fond of, like, non sequitur surreality in horror games. Probably find that when we get around to 6 Days of Sacrifice.
It reminds me a little bit of,
The thing about ghosts is that they don't do much...
Gilliam film?
If the ghosts
Time
touch
Pirates.
you...
Time Bandits.
If the ghosts touch you, they don't do much physical damage, but they cost quite a bit of sanity.
Let's not experience that just now.
Yeah, our sanity's below half already.
Yeah, and once it gets to the point where you're cranking the drugs to keep your brain in there, it's...
Yeah. The biggest risk from having low sanity is getting the suicide options in menus.
Yeah, they just start clicking up, and if you get like about 3 or 4 of them, you're struggling to not just pop yourself.
Yeah, we haven't seen that yet, but
It's a common.
if you're low on sanity, sometimes when you go to like a safe town, the options will switch back and forth between what they're supposed to say and kill myself. And if you accidentally click it when it says kill myself, we will have to do the suicide minigame again, which will get harder.
Mini game.
Yeah, all jolly, right?
Well,
I'd like to explain that to the Australian censor.
the idea is not to.
No, yeah. I guess I'm more worried about explaining how injecting illegal drugs is good for you.
Well, it isn't. It is a not a good. It's not a solution to the problem.
Well, no. That's yeah. It comes with a cost.
Oh,
Oh, here we go. Speak of the devil.
Yeah. Okay. Should we?
This guy either hurts us or tries to sell us drugs, and I don't really want to spare any money.
Yeah.
It's a little unfair that I know the outcomes of all the random events, isn't it?
Just like driving. Yeah, I didn't know any of this, so I'd go, "Oh, what's the worst?" And then he goes apeshit and scratches your face up, and it sucks.
Town names are all randomized as well.
Oh, I thought they were actual real places in England.
No, I take like common prefixes for town names in England and common suffixes for town names in England, and like randomly put them together.
Huh.
So we could just as easily have gotten like Stone's Hope or Blesrow as a town, or Hobblebury. Saworth is a bit silly. You got two W's there. Double W. This is an unsafe town. Ammo's good. I think.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of spells, so there's really no point to the pentagram necklace at the moment.
No.
I mean, like, night vision's night vision maybe. Like, night vision's kind of useful because so far most of the physical damage we've taken has been from surprises.
Okay. This is a rift dungeon. Which means we have to find and close a rift, which monsters will be coming out of.
And this is sort of like a kind of learning process for kind of what the last stage is.
Yeah, basically. This is...
Tenement, housing, dimensional rifts.
Yes, well, that's those cults for you, buying up all the cheap housing. So they can cult it up.
Oh.
Arms and hands ruined, fingers either broken or missing. God of Madness, I want to say. I'm not too sure myself these days.
Oh!
Hey! Cheeky!
You sneaky buggers.
More sanity effects. Self-inflicted.
Oh.
Oh, here's a new boy. It's the Puker. He's called that because... I can't remember.
Because his last name is Pukerton.
Clues at long last. Chizo! Hey! I remember him. But because this is a multiverse thing, Chizo might not be the god of pain. Chizo can be the god of pain, but he could just as easily be the god of madness, lust, disease, or fear. So we've got two names and two colours so far.
That's a good start, because you can, again, the table's really useful for that, I think.
It's a start. It'd be more useful if you knew what their runes were.
Well, haven't we seen the red? So this is what I mean when I'm like, you keep skipping through, it's like, there's a rune, he's like, like you can figure out a lot from the runes if you start getting the colours. Oh, oh.
Hey, yes. This is one of the things I need to do before I can tackle the rift. Just cast the rune you see, and that takes care of the seal. Exploration, you see.
Oh.
Where are you going?
I think he was a fake.
Hey! Cheeky.
Yeah, that can be a bugger because you'll waste ammo on those.
Yeah. Here we go. Looks like it's a Chambatise kind of day. Right, so the god identified by the Vati rune is not the invading god.
Okay, so let's go to the... See, this is why, like, when it had Vati upside down and white and stuff, that was probably something we should have been taking a note of.
Yeah. Look at you coming up with alternative strategies for my game.
Well, I had to. Like, you have a better... You kind of have an expectation of where the game's going to go. When I was playing this, when you had the, this more final build, there was loads of changes that I hadn't sort of...
Shit!
Fucking, he even bites now. It gives me the willies.
We just... Well, I think he always did. Hey, diary page! And something just spawned behind us.
Yeah,
Don't mind me, Mr. Face. Just looking through the dungeon for stuff to pick up.
I usually bail on the dungeons once something like that shows up. It's just...
Well, usually you can escape dungeons at any time, but when a hunter is chasing you, you can't. Hey! Well,
I'd bail.
Bugger.
Oh, that sucked a bit.
Yeah.
Cut it so close.
So the face is called the Overseer. Oh, I don't have to deal with you.
Just to whip him.
I will. Have to
Spank
now.
it. Spank it. Look at him, little hump along
Ow,
the roof.
ow.
God damn, was that like an Ultra one or something?
Yeah, it's a bigger puker.
Yeah.
I'm picking up lots of equipment today.
Alright, now you can go skating.
The skateboarder pads prevent broken arms and broken legs. Broken arms are like broken legs, except every time you fire your gun or try to pistol whip, you lose a bit of sanity.
Alright, 11 health's not good.
No, it is not. I think we should concentrate on town jobs for a bit. I got no health supplies.
And no money.
This is where things get a bit tight.
Hersham. Hersham.
I'm not going to make it to Law Church in time.
Oh lord, no.
Might as well just explore around these towns.
Can we afford? We can't afford. Well, I think we should go to Hersham and spend as much cash as we can on. No, it's 15 usually to upgrade you, to refill your med kit, isn't it?
Yeah. It's 15 to refill your health kit. And
hey! Damn.
That's still not enough. Hey, a military flashlight. Getting lots of opportunities for equipment in this run. Military flashlight improves visibility.
Can we try to steal it?
I don't want to risk it, because if that goes wrong, we could end up with, like, losing some health, and we don't want to risk it at this point.
Figs.
Well, we know Blessport's safe at least, which means we should hang around it in case a job opens up here. Job should open up around the time the last job, like, stops.
By which you mean the town dies.
What? Yes. Yes, I'm afraid sacrifices must be made.
Sorry, Law Church. You're just too close to Scotland for us to give a shit.
Yes. I'm trying to save London here.
Yeah, you're Scotland's problem now.
For the authentic Lovecraft thing, this should probably have been set in, like, New England or something.
Yeah.
But I grew up in England and I like it.
You're a fan of England classic.
I'm familiar with it.
I like how passive-aggressive the, like, you failed the mission thing is. Like, you wouldn't know anything about that, would you? It's like...
I think he's sort of,
Hey!
uncertain. That's convenient.
Okay, this is gonna be rough, man.
Yeah, because an enemy operation means a small dungeon. A mini dungeon. So...
Alright, my current bet is you will not survive this.
Oh, okay. If you want to bet on that, that's up to you. And I've no ammo whatsoever.
Bet's not looking so stupid now, is it?
I suppose not.
Yeah, because I've been paying attention to all these things. 11 health, no ammo. Let's solve a dungeon. Fine.
Well, I was hoping there'd be a pickup here. And I risked being ambushed doing that.
Gotta listen now. Oh, shit. That's a bad thing to get.
Spank it. Spank. Okay, only lost 1 health.
That's not actually bad for a fight with a Bertha.
Oh, my control's reversed.
Oh. That is a shitty one to get, because that can happen when monsters are there, and you'll run into one.
And it's gonna change back.
Oh, another bad one to get.
Why don't you pick up? If you can get them to go off screen, they'll disappear, because they pass through a wall there.
Okay.
Yeah, you got some money, which means if we survive this, we can buy a health kit. But we're going to get money anyway.
We're down to 8.
Bullets!
Okay.
Thank you, random number generator.
Numbers are in our favor.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Lovecraftian horror. The whole cosmic horror thing.
It's very early into the sci-fi.
And a bit of health. It's looking up and looking
That
up.
was actually really friggin' lucky. Because now I think you've actually got a shot.
Oh. See, that demonstrates the problem of illusory monsters. So the thing about cosmic horror that I like is that whole idea of the true extent of reality, bollocks, being so far in excess of what we could possibly comprehend.
The that kind of Hellraiser thing of just this other dimension exists around us always.
Yeah.
Oh.
Shit. Shit and double shit.
The nest. Oh, you're bleeding.
But luckily, I'm in a safe town. Hey, we got a spell.
Alright, you got a hurty spell.
I think that one is Mass Death, yes. Which is basically the spell cultists cast at us. Okay, I'm not going to risk going back through this dungeon.
Return to car.
I'm going to escape dungeon, which...
Takes an hour.
We can expend an hour to do that. Because it, like risk-reward sort of thing. Okay, now I got some money. Perhaps we could claw this one back.
That's a good amount of money too. Yes, visit hospital.
Yes, treat bleeding, refill medkit.
You got drugs. Okay, now go to the car, use the medkit, and then refill the medkit again. Because you didn't do that last time.
Okay. Oops. Kinda like to buy some ammo as well.
Yeah, see now you want to refill the medkit again. There's a pro tip for players at home, because...
Yeah. Oh, now we're getting kill myself dialogues. Shit!
Oh.
Whew. Yeah, if you survive that, there's a chance of getting some sanity back, because, you've pulled the gun away from your head. That's the first step is admitting you have a problem. Huh, that's rare. 9mm and armor piercings being sold for the same price.
Huh.
Fill up an armor piercings then.
The color from Out of Space, I think, is the one that sort of pops into my head when I think of Lovecraftian sci-fi horror.
Yes, the whole title, The Consuming Shadow, is based on it being a sort of Lovecraftian sort of...
What do you think the attraction of the... Because he didn't write a huge amount for his stuff, but it really did explode. Like, how many other sort of authors have produced a mythos?
Well, he was the first writer to introduce this concept of cosmic horror, which is humanity, basically based around humanity being a small, insignificant thing in a huge universe it can't understand. And this is around a time people were, there was a lot of national pride. There was a lot of
science
industrial and scientific pride, and science was just like there was a lot of religious pride. The human race was at a very prideful point at the end of the 19th century, I'd say, with all the exhibitions and industrial revolutions and stuff. And but the scientists were discovering, they were mapping more and more of space and discovering the uncomfortable possibility that perhaps there is no God and we're alone, a scrap of accidental life on a rock hurtling through an infinity of nothing. And that's the basis of cosmic horror, in which that was the environment in which Lovecraft was writing. And
I think that manifests in the vastness of all the sort of structures that Lovecraft... everything dwarfs humanity. Everything is impossibly large.
Exactly. I mean, in his books, he's sort of trying to make you scared merely by the fact that aliens exist. He's saying, oh shit! We're not the only intelligence that ever existed. I learned this and I went mad. Okay, that was a random text. This isn't a job, it's just someone telling us it's a bad town.
Okay.
Right, well, we got full health, we got some ammo, we got no sanity.
Going a bit mental.
We got 13 sanity. Looks like another rift to deal with.
Yep. The idiotic cults line is usually a rift clue.
Yeah, we're a pretty judgmental scholar. Yeah, the main character, he's a silhouette. You can believe what you like about him. All we know that's confirmed in the game is that he's got a wife and kids, who apparently staying with Grandma at the moment, who beats them.
Miss him very much. I imagine she takes out her teeth and nibbles them. Well,
not getting into there. There's one of the equipment items we can get guarantees that lockpicking will work, but you always expend a lockpick doing that. Oh, speak of the devil. Those doors, these are some cheeky doors, I must say.
Play the old switcheroo on me. This is a mission dungeon, so there should
be the bush switcheroo. Sorry, that was the first thing my mind went to there.
Odd. Oh.
Ow, 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 ow. Come on.
Spank it.
Come here, you.
So you use a lot more ammo than I do. I tend to... we don't have the...
Well, that's the rift.
Yeah.
But we haven't unsealed it yet.
Splotch.
What did it just spawn?
Oh.
No, it spawned a buzzer. Because why wouldn't it? And it just spawned something else, didn't it?
Yep. This is a shitty room to be.
Yeah, I should probably just fuck off.
Yeah.
And take the sanity hit.
Ouch.
Actually, I didn't take sanity hit there. I guess because it wasn't spawned at the start of the room. Ow!
Oh, you guys are jerks.
Damn it! I just got all this health back.
Now it's all going away.
Cheeky gits.
You vomited on me. It's just like going out in the valley. You should go up. Up.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, big one.
It's a big puker. And I got no ammo anymore.
See, I sprint. Yeah, see, that's the thing. They run it. They try to scooch away, and I love the way they move. That is the definition of scooch.
Yeah. Sanity
This
effects.
is a shitty sanity effect. I don't like this one. Okay, so white's pain.
White is pain, and we don't have a white yet, so we know it has to be the god we don't know anything about yet.
Wasn't it Betty?
That's unconfirmed.
Okie dokie.
Madness, I think.
This is what I mean. Like beyond the overt clues, there's a lot of subtle ways that you can kind of pick up. Ah, another fucking.
No, I'm just gonna accept that I'm insane as donkeys now.
Yeah.
Oh,
shit.
You know what? I think I'm not gonna survive this dungeon.
Yeah, that kind of. Oh.
You know, I kind of suspected it might be illusory.
There's a over to the right. It's a whatever that one is. The upside down Y.
Oh, yeah, I can't see it properly. Oh,
It's
yeah.
because we're barking mad now.
Okay. Right. Now let's unseal. Or let's unrift this dungeon. Yushk is identified with Kz. Well, he has to be Yushk. So we got one rune.
Hooray!
Who knows if he's the... Oh, shit.
Oh. Y'all fucked up, son.
I did not keep my wits about me.
See, this is...
That was my mistake there.
Yeah. Yahtzee lets his ego as a creator get to him, and he starts ignoring things, tuning out. You can't do that, because shit just spawns on you.
Well, let's see how we did.
Ending G.
Hey! Hey!
Alright, birth
A whole
stars.
2 birth stars.
Which I'm going to use.
Yep, well, I'll just pass the controller over to Gabriel now, because it's his turn. Do you want to check out the files, actually?
Okay. Look at the diary, or just...
Let's just look at the files. So now every monster we've encountered, we've started to build a profile on them. And each time we attack them, or encounter them, we add a bit more. We decrypt a little bit more of this dialogue.
You will always decrypt the buzzers first.
It's something for the 100%ers out there. Nice bit of flavor text. They offer hints on how to kill the monsters, but if you've killed enough of them to have filled out the whole profile, you're probably doing alright.
Ooh. The Overseer...
The music was created by Mark Hadley, who was another person who basically just volunteered their services. And this is the Birth Star system.
I actually really like this as a thing. Like the way you
this
can go,
replaces-
okay, I'm going to get a little bit of research, get a little bit of sanity.
This replaces the level up system in the alpha. You have to place your birth stars. We unlocked 2 for leveling up twice. And we have to place them near to these constellations to gain benefits.
Okay, one
Astrology style. They want to get get as much sanity as you can.
Pick.
So research increases the amount that the monster profiles increase with each monster encounter. The crab increases health. The magician improves our chances of finding random spells when we look in random loot objects. Ammo capacity is handy.
I might maybe go more on research.
Yeah,
Alright, so
I think
3 is the
about-
max.
yeah.
I'm gonna...
3 is the best you can do there. I think that's just the number of characters that are added with each encounter.
Oh, is that for just picking... is this for the monster list?
Yes.
Okay, not that. I don't want... That's not helpful for me at the moment.
Okay.
I mean, get that if you've bought the game, then it's kind of neat you get all the stuff, but I'm trying to actually, like, you know, win.
Well, yeah, I ain't got much time to do it in.
No, I don't.
I've been doing this for nearly an hour.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, so this is my advice, is buff sanity and health.
Well,
Once you have those things, you're
they're
kind of in a
major-
better position.
They're the major ones.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll get quite a few birth stars in the early game. Play a few times, you'll get like 4 or 5.
You're pretty hardcore after that.
The amount of XP you have to get to unlock the next star increases incrementally, of course. Right, we've got a dungeon to deal with in Kidton.
And one in Toombro.
Yes, this is a cursed town. This game was made in Game Maker Studio. I don't know if I mentioned that.
I don't think you have yet, I don't know.
It's one of our favourite
Alright, let's investigate like hell.
game dev tools.
I've got to remember the controls now. X is shoot, isn't it?
Yes, B is pistol whip.
Whip it! Yeah, whip it!
But your pistol whip automatically if the monster's right next to you or you've got no ammo.
Yeah, which is kind of useful. Alright, yeah, so I got 75 sanity, 72 health. That would have been 75 health as well if I'd bothered to fiddle with the star a little more, but I didn't care, so...
Have we mentioned that the gun auto-aims?
That was a good change, I think.
Well, the gun auto-aims. In the alpha you had to aim manually with like the mouse.
Thoth and ew.
But in the end we decided that we wanted to focus more on reaction rather than accurate shooting. If you see what I mean.
I think that that works better with the kind of way they can appear.
Yes. You go blur! Like case in point.
Yep.
Go blur monster! Oh, we're in an office building.
I think that works better with the fake ones as well.
See, I never got an office building.
Yeah.
Office buildings are pure clues. Clues up the arse. Because all the searchable objects are filing cabinets.
Okay, so we got Thoth defeating and casting out a figure labeled as a god of madness.
So Cathoth is the enemy of the god of madness.
Yeah.
That doesn't tell us a whole lot straight away.
No, but we know now that the god of madness is not Thoth, and that there is a god of madness about.
Yes.
So see this.
So you've been testing this a lot, haven't you?
Yeah, you want to feel the quicker you feel, because I guarantee you will get all the other bits and pieces. Like it'll be rare that you find the definite answer to who the god is before you get the other parts, and that can really screw you up if you haven't been paying attention.
Come on, smash his brainy ass.
Yeah,
Yeah, and lots of treasures for you.
I got all the treasures.
Right.
Sweet, so I got Betty.
Well, we got part of the banisher ritual.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, overlay text for overlapping a bit there. Biala red.
No, because it was allied with the god associated with it.
Oh right, yeah.
Alright, so we've got a god of red somewhere.
And who was allied with them?
Biala.
Biala's allied with them.
So I probably won't put the red in yet.
So,
I
yeah,
got
so
Biala.
So we know it's a Biala, and we know Cathoth.
We don't know what Cathoth's color is yet.
It's possible that Cathoth.
Could be red. Red could be any one of these. Same as like Biala could be the god of madness as well.
Yeah, we haven't got confirmed much at this point.
No, but
more clues.
Yeah, but that's what I think is the benefit of the table, is it lets you kind of fiddle through.
Yeah, the table is another thing that's been added since the alpha. Because I was having to draw one on paper anyway. I thought it'd be a handy thing to have. There's a jolly story.
Ew.
Orange is the colour of disease.
Okay.
So we know someone's disease, but not much more than that.
So we know there's a disease.
It could be
orange.
It could be Cathoth as well.
Yeah. Well, I just put these in as kind of like placeholders until I can get a little more information. Because again, things like the wall runes and stuff, I think, can be really helpful in figuring that out.
See, this illustrates how you sort of develop your own playstyle for this game. Because I don't like to put something into the table unless I'm certain of it. I mean, if it were me, I'd put disease and orange into Cathoth's entries as well, so I know that it's not certain yet. But that's just me.
Well, see, yeah, but the list of note information kind of has it there. It's not. So I confer when I get more bits of information.
I want to encourage players to find their own methods to play. Of course, there are other playable characters to unlock.
Yes, that is an important thing to remember
as you keep playing the game. Who
do you only get those when you win?
It depends what you do.
Okay.
I mean, there's one character that you unlock by defeating the Ancient, like banishing the Ancient. It doesn't matter what happens after that. And there's 2 characters you unlock from like discovering them through random events. And you don't have to win the game to have unlocked those guys. You just have to like complete their missions that they provide for you. So there's 4 characters in total, and they all have like slightly different gameplay styles. Like the default character has the 60 hours and all that. The character you unlock for beating the game is basically plays the same as the Scholar, but has only 24 hours. And he starts with more equipment and more clues.
Okay, I'll probably actually deliver the organ.
And he starts with knowledge of every town.
Yeah.
So he's a bit more organic play style, where the only thing he has to do is figure out who the god he's banishing is, and then hoof it to Stonehenge. Oh, you've delivered a heart, and discovered a sinister plot.
I haven't encountered this one. Yeah, alright, there's...
Okay, we've found a secret cell. Good work.
Yay!
Now to defeat the local leader of the minions, meaning a boss monster. Oh yeah.
God, I am lucky with keys, man. Oh,
Duh.
shit nipples. Fuck that.
Jesus. Good reaction there.
Sweet. Hollow points. Bring the pain!
Well, you'll bring the pain. Duh! I think this is the boss. Yeah, so Mark Hadley was the guy who made the audio.
Alright, so this is how you fight a fucking puker. Damn it.
Yeah, it seems to be really working for you.
Yeah, I call that the Spankies method.
Mark Hadley was the guy who developed Slender the 8 Pages. And he's done a very good job creating some atmospheric little organic tunes to play to fill in the atmosphere.
Clothoth's orange. Alright,
Nice,
so see now...
now we know.
Yep.
Now we know he's diseased. How nice of that spitter to be patient and wait for you to fill that in.
Guy, just wait, alright? Just wait. That was amazing.
Yeah. It looks slightly dodgy. You can...
Sweet. I've already looked in there.
Since there's auto-aim, you can attack one direction while moving in another.
Alright. I'll poke around here. So, ooh, could be treaties in here.
Not treaties. Not like the Treaty of Versailles.
Oh,
Oh, Jesus, they're all hanging out here.
fuck you.
Well, those guys do seem thoroughly fucked. Looks like you missed a pickup in the last room.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a good example. Yeah, so that's important. The little thing, like, will light up and tell
Yeah,
you things
the map squares will be yellow if there's anything of importance still in them.
Flat, square, ashen.
So
Okay,
Bjala is Shum. Well, that's useful. So now we have 2 of the god's ruins. If we find out one of those is the invading god, we're quids in.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, what's that?
It's a buzzer. It's a mini buzzer.
And they're relatively simple. They're kind of just pests.
Yeah, they just die when they sting you.
Yeah.
And another one.
Oh, you little fucking...
Oh. Yeah, that's the trade-off with them. They can take you by surprise.
Yeah, they just pop up. Okay, so see, now I've got like 16 health, so the plan is return to the car.
Yeah.
Off that.
Can't take your medkit with you.
No, and...
And,
See, now I can go back and visit the hospital.
Fill up your medkit. You can only do it once, though. You only had the cash to do it once.
That's some supplies.
Ooh, a lucky charm.
That is actually quite useful.
Yeah, that'll increase the number of bullets and like health and stuff that we find when we find equipment.
I ain't got a bullet.
Well, it could be the fight winner.
Well, I'm more of a, smacky person anyway.
No, I've noticed that.
Well, hey, Puka, man.
This is another of the random text. T occasionally just give gameplay hints.
Alright, so we gotta set the destination.
There's quite a little database of gameplay hints he'll give you. Good old Trilby. If it really is him.
Trilbo Baggins. That doesn't it. Alright, so we're gonna... Do you think we'll make it to Kidden?
In 2 hours? Might as well risk it.
Yep. We're coming, Kidden. Don't explode.
I don't think you will make it, though.
Oh, figs.
Well,
Jesus.
it's a random dungeon. I'd skip this one if I were you. Oh, piss.
Jesus, Trilby, you anus.
Okay, Lorworth. Is that in range? Yes, it is.
Alrighty.
It's only a delivery, though, so they don't pay as well as the other missions.
Every little bit helps, though.
Yeah, every little helps.
Because, yeah, this is the thing, like, you play for details, because all those bits add up. This is a game where a lot of that counts, like, the little things that you sort of tend to ignore in a lot of other games. Oh,
man, they've
you
been
punch Grandma in her withered old uterus. She'll drop like a sack of rocks.
They've been texting that a lot today.
Sweet, see? It's $12.
Thanks, awkward man.
Yeah. Awkward unit, you. I'm just gonna go with my, 9 millies.
Lockpicking always succeeds. Can be good.
I tend to just go for the I'll run around and find the... Oh,
well, depending on your playstyle, it can expedite dungeons pretty quickly.
Alright, let's actually, you know what? I'm gonna go to... No, it's a destination.
Where are you gonna go?
I'm gonna go to Kidton and just purge it, because I kind of feel guilty.
You're gonna redeem yourself?
Yeah, this
Good
is
on
my mission of redemption. Oh man, I'm getting a lot of these.
Random events. Oh... If only you'd bought that locksmith kit. Ha ha ha.
I don't think I've encountered that one before.
No, there's one of those for every piece of equipment.
Jesus.
More locksmith kit. Oh hey, this is the random event that unlocks another character.
Oh really? So do I need a locksmith's kit for that?
Yes, you do.
I don't have the money for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't put much hope on completing that in the time we have left.
Figs.
Let's leave the additional playable characters as a thing for the viewers to discover for themselves. Huh.
I feel like doing that to people now. Like just $5. Hello, I don't know you, but a dream told me to help you. Here's $5.
Of course, with the whole multiple universes thing, the Trilby running the ministry in this game might not be the Trilby we know. It might be a different one.
Alright, come on, 9 millies.
Use the shoulder buttons to switch ammo types. Or use Q and D on the keyboard.
I really don't recommend playing this with a keyboard.
Oh, did someone try to barricade that door? Gnix is an ally of the god of pain. Well, we know the name of the last guy then. Gnix is the middle guy.
Alright, see? Starting to fill this sucker out.
Alrighty.
This is, use the table. It's there for a reason.
What that means is either Gnix or the...
Look at that, see? I never need a lockpick in this game.
Huh. So what that means is either Gnix or the guy he's allied with must be the invader. Because the invader's enemy has no allies.
Hey. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is why you get the 4-leaf clover.
The lucky charm.
Yep. After me lucky charms, because they help me in battling monsters.
So I used to be down on...
God damn it.
I used to be down on sanity as a game mechanic, especially in games like Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Because all they kind of did, or in Eternal Darkness even, all they kind of did was make the screen go wibbly wobbly. And sometimes it was cooler to be insane and see all the funny effects that would happen. I would spend a lot of time deliberately being insane in Eternal Darkness to see all the funny things that would happen.
To be fair... Fuck your rift. To be fair, some of the insanity effects in Eternal Darkness were actually good. The controller unplugged one got me, and the fucking deleting your save game one got me.
Yeah, they were fun once.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the nature of all this.
But you have to replay that game 3 times to get the real ending.
Chanting some kind of mantra, ward off evil.
Okay, so we got part of the banishment
some
ritual.
kind of a spell though. Alright, because... Okay.
Yeah, so that's part of the banishment ritual. So what I wanted to do with the sanity effects in this game is actually make being insane an actual hindrance. That was one of my goals. And that's the main reasoning behind the kill yourself minigame, which used to be a lot harsher.
It's still pretty harsh.
Yeah, previously, if you were like seriously insane when it happened, it was basically unwinnable. Now it's more based on how many times you've done it than it is on what your current sanity is. That's probably something we already knew.
Nyx is an ally of the god of pain.
Nyx is an ally of
Biala.
Yeah.
Biala's god of pain, so...
Yeah, no one...
Biala's probably the invader then, and Nyx is the ally.
Who do we know isn't the invader?
But only the invader has an ally.
Yeah.
So,
well, Gnax and Biala are each other's allies.
okay. Wait, no, hang
If
on.
you see what I mean.
Nyx is an ally of the god of pain.
Yes.
So is that a multi-directional thing? So it could be ally or Biala.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna leave
like
that
the
there.
invader and the invader's ally are both referred to as allies of each other.
Oh, okay. I thought it was maybe like a one-directional sort of thing.
No.
Alright, this place is
they're-
not fully explored yet.
They're friends to the end.
Buddies. Fuck.
Eat pistol whip. I hate floaters in my toilet bowl, and I hate floaters here.
Okay, oh, don't want to go that way. Oh. Give me some ammo.
Look at quick draw McGraw over here.
Yeah, this is control pad so much better.
You,
Well, that was worth exploring for.
Mister, I prefer to use melee.
Yeah, man. You saw I took down that. Oh. And
Well,
I guess you're real, you fucker.
Well, it illuminated the room and told us there was a floater there, so it did that.
And again, look, I shoot a lot, but I find a lot of ammo.
Yeah, that's the lucky charm for you. The equipment didn't used to be that effective,
Yeah, which
but now, so I like basically strengthened all of them, so now they can really be a game changer.
okay, I need a locksmith kit.
Yeah, that's I wouldn't bother with that because that's just
Well, one in Lawworth. I'm gonna give it a shot because we're doing this for the game, so I'm just gonna
okay.
see if I can complete this little mission.
We won't have time to like play another game.
Oh,
if we
Jesus.
unlock the character, we won't have time to like show it off.
Inspect the wife.
Inspect the
I will
wife.
inspect the wife.
Yes, give her a...
Hey.
Oh, that was lucky. That could have gone poorly. But the RNG was on our side.
Thanks, numbers.
So yeah, that was a guy convinced his wife was evil and about to stab her.
Yeah, she probably was evil.
We could have worn the stab-proof vest to get in the way of the stab and ensure a good result.
The town.
So we got a good result anyway, so hooray.
Locksmithing kit. Do I need it in?
And you don't need to equip it to use it in
Okay.
like the missions. You might as well equip it, you don't have anything else equipped there.
Yeah, see, 17 hours. I'm gonna kill this one.
Yeah, you get a bit longer to do the extra character unlock missions.
Alright, I'm gonna unlock a character. Fucking Jesus.
Hey!
Hey.
Hey, you can get the perfect result. Look, you're befriending a child. These moments are important. I think because that's
Got some sanity. That was a good sanity buff.
yeah, because that requires a special item to complete. That's a pretty significant sanity buff. And then
Oh, wait. This isn't where I was going. I was going to a place near Kidton. Oh, fiddlesticks.
I thought you were going to try and fix Kid. Oh, you did.
Yeah, I already did. I've atoned for that. I shot some greeblies and killed some floaters and...
Shot some what?
Greeblies.
Thanks, T. Good advice. Do not ignore serious injuries. Well, it is good advice for this game. An intense, physically imposing man in an ill-fitting suit.
Well, he's not going to have a fun time.
Of course, perhaps I should have said earlier that the extra character unlock dungeons are all super hard.
Oh, well, now you tell me.
Ha
Okay.
ha 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 ha.
No, I've fought some of these before.
Ktoth hates Mr. White.
Alright, that's...
You know, you could probably clear out some of these clues. You've already put them in the table. I like to keep my clue list clean.
I keep them all there so I can go back through them if I think I've got something wrong.
So who hates White?
Thoth.
Okay, well we know he's not one of the two allies, so he has to hate both of them. So that doesn't really tell us anything, we're just that one of them is White.
Alright. I'll fill that in just yet.
get rid of some clues you can afford. I mean, you've put a few of them in the table, yeah.
Missed. God damn it.
Oh, bollocks. That won't matter so much in like these real-time dungeons. The bleeding wound is a problem during transit, because that's when time moves very fast.
A little bit of sanity.
Just a tiny bit.
Yep. Every little bit helps, though, you know.
I think they brought you up to... No. Oh, it's a fun room, this, isn't it? Oh, should have used those earlier.
Yep.
That's the thing, you know, you panic a bit.
Yeah. Okay, that could have gone better. Come on, Lucky Charm. Luck me to victory. Find me some health. Dicks.
Was that what you wanted? No, it was not.
No, it was not helpful.
You know, I don't think you're going to survive this.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Oh, that's handy, because I'm about ready to round up this video. Tie up this video. Huh, sounds like a God of Madness body right there.
Okay, see if I can play my way. Come on, you can do it, Gabe.
Come on.
I've fought my way out of pretty bad scrapes in this.
You can, yeah, we clawed back from like 4 health in the last game.
Yeah. Alright, so how do I click delete?
Yeah, just click on them to get rid of them. We don't need most of these.
Associated with the color white.
But Bjarla's white. Yes. Bjarla should check his privilege then. Because he's white.
Freaking.
Oh boy.
This is why I hate those freaking brain ones, because they drift and they can go in 2 directions, and then you just got shit hanging around.
You've got 2 roomfuls of baddies to sort out.
That'll be fine.
Yeah, totally, man.
You just have to go into this with a positive attitude, man.
Of
I could
course.
probably bail on a lot of these fights, actually, just because...
Well, not in this dungeon. This is an infested dungeon.
Well, no, but I mean, some of the mini ones. Come on, give me some health.
Well, you got keys. That's something. Means you can open that locked door,
God
which
damn
is
it.
probably where all the monsters are, but I guess we'll never know.
Shit nipples. Those, see, I can melee pretty much everything in this game except for the floaters.
Well,
Find them, like, I don't know where their hurt boxes are, they're kind of tricky. I mean, you saw me take down the big vomiter.
yeah.
I think melee's a legitimate tactic in this. You don't fall for the bullet trap.
Ending G. Dead.
Oh,
That's all you're worth.
fiddlesticks.
So,
Stupid fucking floaters.
thanks for watching this introduction to the Consuming
Saxon
Shadow,
jokes.
which is now available to buy.
I think this worked out pretty well, because I was worried we were going to be too successful and maybe give away big chunks of it, but yeah, I think that's...
To buy from various links in the description.
You're on the internet, you'll figure something out. There's ways to buy games on the internet.
Here's where the diary pages go. There's a diary that was written by T before the events of the game, which will put in a sort of fill in a little detail of what happened before, like the shadow completely fell. Of course, that only describes the events that took place in one universe.
Multiverse.
Because, yes. Woo. Cosmic
Yeah,
horror.
There's 2 other characters, and who was I unlocking by doing that?
You were unlocking the melee guy.
Alright.
The guy who has no gun, but he has like a slightly a melee attack with a further reach and a dodge move, so he can dodge things. You've been playing him quite a bit, haven't you?
Yeah, the melee attacks got solid reach. Now that the dodge has a few more invincibility frames to it, it's
Yes, in the
much more effective.
In the final build, that was one of my last fixes.
Yeah, because the dodge wasn't that useful before that, and when you have to get close, when that's your only option, it's just like, well, I'm tanking a lot of damage. Especially like with the with Kiki McGee, once you get some stars for him and upgrade his health and his melee, because you can buff his melee fairly solidly.
His name's not actually Kiki McGee.
Kiki Longstockings. He then becomes I've been on the warpath fairly hard with him.
Hope these gameplay tips help you in your own
Come up with your own tips.
your own battles against the shadow.
Yep.
And now I will kill myself.
Aw.
Sorry to be such a disappointment, Mum.
It's the easiest way.
Good night, everybody.
Toodaloo.
Okay, so now we know.
Ooh, good-o.
Now we know the third rune of the banishment ritual is Kz. And this is the spellcasting screen. This is what we would use to cast spells if we had any.
Yeah,
But
and
we
that's
don't.
you pick up spells along the way that you can cast in-game, not just for the thing at the end, and that gives you sort of little advantages here. Some buffs, some do damage. Oh,
Oh,
hit him.
I'm hitting him, and I'm hitting him.
Splat.
That was a buzzer. He buzzes. I think he's only introduced to the monster pool after you beat the first dungeon. So, he's a new friend. Oh, speaking of spells... Hey!
This is a good spell.
These are occasional random drops you find in dustbins. Or whatever is the...
Shumkuz.
Yes, let's demonstrate dark vision. Oh, that's... Sorry, I'll just cancel out of that. That could
almost,
have been...
yeah, you almost cast the diarrhea spell.
That could have been embarrassing. Whoops. So what's happening here is that casting a spell has cost us a bit of sanity.
Which has triggered the anxiety status effect.
When you lose sanity, there's a chance of getting anxiety. And when you're anxious, your hand wobbles, which makes your aim slightly worse.
Which can be a real problem with buzzers. And especially the little ones, like...
I'm seeing if I can pick this door open. I've got 25% now and one pick left.
Oh. Okay, so we have to find the key.
Well, this dungeon may or may not have a key. Oops, I missed.
Oh, so dungeon... Oh, see, there we go. Now we got a spitter.
Yeah. Oh,
Hit him.
I'm gonna hit you.
So, I never encountered a dungeon where there wasn't a key.
Well, that's... I don't know if
this is important.
Ah, yes. We've just found a clue about one of the gods. This is not telling us that Biala is the invading god. Hello!
Behold!
Welcome to a special Ego review. Because we don't know when this is going up. Hopefully, if all goes to plan, this will be going up, brace yourselves, on the day that the Consuming Shadow is available to buy from digital stores. I'll be putting links to all the stores you can buy it from in the description.
There'll be plenty of links. I like this as an opening option. See,
This is something a lot of people have latched on to. That one of the options you can do on the opening screen is to murder yourself.
What happens? Should we show them that, or...?
This happens. But if I press the button, I can fight off my suicidal instincts. No, we must fight on. Save the world from the shadow. The consuming
Suicide is
shadow.
painless, but in this case it brings on many changes.
Yes. It wouldn't be that painless. He's not putting it in his mouth. That's how you ensure. I mean, this is probably survivable what he's doing.
Where's it go?
Might just blow his face off like Arseface from Preacher.
Oh. It's kind of getting toward... Like, it's kind of pointing a bit back there.
Well, recoil can dislodge it a bit.
Okay.
Anyway, enough admiration of suicide.
Enough of the willy-nilly of shooting oneself in the neck.
Let's take a brief look at the files.
We have nothing.
No.
Lots of mysteries to solve.
Yeah. Those will fill out as we encounter monsters. But we haven't encountered any in this save because there's nothing on it.
Well, except the spectre of suicide.
So, The Consuming Shadow is a Lovecraftian procedurally generated game. In which we travel throughout the land and find tainted and untainted towns in which to seek clues.
Red means tainted, green means untainted.
Yes, it's like traffic lights.
Yeah.
Go.
As you'd sort of...
Well, we do call them dungeons.
Well, yeah, but this is, it's a park, but it functions as the game's...
Faux pas.
Yep.
Faux pas.
Pistol whipping is a useful... Get used to learning how to pistol whip, because you don't want to just go peeing your ammo away. That stuff's important.
You can do it while moving.
Yeah.
That's new since the alpha. I had to divide the sprite into two. That's why his lower body doesn't move at all when he's doing that.
He's just got good grounding. He must do Tai Chi.
He's stiffened his hips
Yep.
in his resolution against the evil.
He's girded his loins. There's another area we could explore. So yeah, you got Pokebat.
So these dungeons...
Ooh, and that noise means there's something you can search for, and you want to search for things.
Yeah.
Because it's survivally, isn't it? This isn't like a haha we...
Well, yes. It's one of my inspirations was FDL, You have to manage your resources. There's this big evil thing weighing down on you. Oh, we just found one of the diary pages.
That gets added to the little, should we examine the dude?
I suppose we should. I'm so used to this game now. I just look past straight. Oh, a corpse. Oh, how mundane.
Just another day. But the corpses, I think, don't they sort of give you... Oh,
Hey!
a Bertha.
Pissed off you. Ow, ow,
yeah.
ow. Yeah, and you.
Yeah, so the Berthas are kind of dicks because they've been infected and filled with little beasties. So when you kill them, they hatch.
Yes, that's one of the early boss monsters. They've become a regular enemy the more you go through the game.
And then you also start to see more advanced forms.
Yes, and the dungeons get bigger.
Yeah, quite bigger.
So this was the first easiest dungeon of the game.
So
Here, you lovely person, stop, don't come here unless you're a paranormal detective.
Yep, with a gun and a mission.
Our ultimate goal is to prevent the evil ancient god from entering our world.
Yeah. They're not great. Oh, get the rosary.
You like the rosary?
Yes.
Well, I got the cash for it.
There's a pro tip for all you players out there: get that rosary first, because that helps reduce sanity loss. And holy jeez,
Always check the items in the safe town shops, because those are handy.
Yeah.
So the method that we need to employ to stop the ancient from invading the world in approximately 60 hours, which was 72 hours in the alpha, but I thought I'd make it a bit tenser.
And that's an important thing to emphasize to people is everything in this takes time. Driving takes time. Searching for supplies in safe towns eats an hour. So time management's a very big and sort of major part of this game. You can't just sort of dally about.
Yes. So there's multiple evil ancients that we know of. Only one is the one that's invading the world. We have to go to evil dungeons to find information on the banishment ritual.
Yep.
Which is 4 runes that we must incant at Stonehenge to prevent the invasion of the ancient. One of the runes will be the rune
Of the god.
representing the god invading, and we also have to figure out which god that is.
Yes, because if you cast the wrong one, oh dearie me.
Yes. Presumably it will be bad. So here we are at a tainted town. And these descriptions are somewhat randomly generated. There's a couple of different passages that comes into them.
And so we investigate a few times, and we get one of, how many? There's a fair few now. Different kinds of, for lack of a better word, dungeons, but they're not all dungeons.
There are 3 gods we'll find information about. One of the major clues that you find from beating dungeons is which gods are not invading.
Yeah, that's important.
And you'll find out, they'll say things like the Biala is not in the invading god, or the purple god is not the invading god.
Or Biala hates the invading god. So the way the gods relate to each other, I found, was probably the best way for me to work out who was doing what.
Yeah, one of the gods is invading, one of them is the ally of the invader. One of them...
There's a coffer.
It's a spitter again.
Uh,
You can, if you...
it's hock and goobies.
If you can-
you can hit the spit. I forgot about that.
Yeah, if you can time it well enough. You need to get in close, because the spitter tries to attack from mid-range, so he'll back off if you go for melee.
See, and this is where the night vision comes in handy, because when you can't see the buzzers from a distance, they just tear into your sort of space. And usually by that stage, it's a bit late to hit them.
Sometimes ambush you from behind as well. Well, I ran out of ammo. I considered buying more ammo at the shop, but that rosary was too tempting.
I think the rosary to me is always a good choice. Like, you can melee your way through a lot of stuff if you get good at the melee. Getting sanity back is hard.
Yeah, it's almost like a conscious part of the design that sanity is almost a permanent loss. You can restore it by taking illegal drugs.
Just like in real life.
That's these things up here, because they numb you to the horror of reality. But that effect ticks down over time.
And it's not a permanent up.
Yeah, and each time you take drugs, you get less of an effect, just like real life.
And,
So night has now fallen, which means our visibility is going to be compromised in dungeons. I don't want to go to a dungeon straight away yet. I want to find a nice town.
Is this a nice town? We haven't explored it yet.
No, because you can see there's